Okay, here's some sight reading duets. And I will play the first part through, then I'll play the second part through, go on to the next duet. So I'm playing on marimba. You can play on bells. I think that's probably what you have. But it'll sound a little different. But maybe that's I'm thinking that might be a good thing, so you can hear the marimba over the bells. Maybe depending if you turn this up enough. Um, so the idea with these is to so you can just play them straight through, and you can do each one maybe a couple times. I mean, you can do it more than that, but to actually practice the sight reading, you want to see if you can go straight through. And I might have done this with some of you already. If that's the case, then that's all right. You can do it again. But since we can't be in person to do these, here we are in video to be able to do them. All right, so here's duet number one. This is from a book called Sight Reading Duets for Beginning Mallet Players. It's a great, great book. All right, duet number one. Here's part number one. Oh, another thing you can do, you could just play the part with me as well. If it's too hard to play the second part while I'm playing the first part and vice versa. So you can just play along with it because that's also a good way to do it. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, missed one note somewhere in there. So ignore that. And next line. Let's make sure you can see that in the video. Yep. With these, these are written for marimba. So sometimes the range might be a little too low, a little too high for the bells. So just take it wherever you can play it at in the bells. Like this one on the bells, you'd have to take it up an octave because it gets pretty low. So duet number one, part two. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, and so you also notice how some of the parts we're playing at the same time. Sometimes we move at the same time. Sometimes we're playing in different on different beats, so that makes it a little more challenging. You just got to be aware of where the other part falls. You don't have to be following it exactly because you got a lot to think about just reading the part. But keep that in mind. So like at the end there, one player has beats 1 and 3, while the second player has 1 and 4, while the other has 2 and 3. So they're playing different from each other. All right, so here we are. I'm going to duet number 2. Again, same thing. I'll play the first part by itself and then the second part by itself. 1, 2, 3, 4. So another thing to keep in mind is you want to try to get some of the dynamics in. I missed a couple of them there, but your goal is to get all those dynamics as well. I mean, first job is the notes, but maybe like once you do the first time, then the second time you can start thinking about some dynamics. And you're also welcome to use these as just to practice them. Once you've got them for sight reading, which is great, you know, you've done the sight reading and then you can learn it. So you can certainly do them more than that. Also notice. You know, that second line from the bottom, there's each part has a different rhythm when they're trading off measures. So it's easy to get sucked into that. All right, here's the second part of duet number 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Also, you hear how some of these, like that part at the end, it doesn't sound like it resolves because it's only one of the two parts, so it doesn't end on the tonic there. So it'll sound kind of funny by itself, but together it'll be great. All right, here's duet number 3. Again, I'm going to play part 1, and also now this is the first one, the key signature, key of F, so we have 1 B flat. 1, 2, 3, 4. right, and then part 2. Let me think how to count this off. Well, I guess you don't play, so if you're gonna, I'll count off. Well, actually, I'll start counting the first 2 bars, so no count off beforehand. Ready? Here is bar 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. Second bar, 2, 3, 4. One, two, three. I'm sorry. Here's 19. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm just do that whole thing again, the whole second part. So duet number 3, part 2. Here's the first measure. 1, 2, 3, 4. Second bar, 2, 3, 4. One, two, three. All right, we'll do one more on this video, duet number 4. Notice it's in 3/4 time, so I'll count off 2 measures before playing each part here. They only have a little stick clicks down 2 lines from the bottom. We'll go ahead and just play those. They have a GP, which is a grand pause, which means it's exactly in time, but nobody's playing. Also, in this one, there's a couple accidentals in here, so watch out for that. As was in the last one, I think we had 1 accidental in there, so watch out for those. But no key, there's no key signature. There's no sharps or flats anyway, so it's the key of C. Here we go. Duet number 4, part 1. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. All right, and then here's part 2 of duet number 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.